Provincial Instructor Diploma Program 3230 by Peter Crendia. Assignment number 2, the muddiest point. The muddiest point is a classroom assessment technique that's suitable for all class sizes and all class levels, including second language learners. It was first mentioned in 1989 by Dr. Frederick Mosteller, a Harvard professor. As an overview, it works best with lectures and presentations by asking students to identify what the most confusing aspect of the lecture was. It takes very little time from the end of class, 10 to 15 minutes, and uses very simple resources like sticky notes or a notepad and pen. It's a formative assessment that clarifies the most confusing element from the class for students, and it gives the opportunity for timely feedback. How it works is you hand out the papers near the end of the lesson, ask the students to give you a specific question about the muddiest point of the lecture, a video, class assignment, or a practical activity that was done in class. At the end of the class, the instructor will collect the notes, categorize them by the type of questions or whether or not he or she wants to answer them, and prepare a reply for the next lesson. For the next lesson, the feedback methods should be timely, but they can be many different ways: a written sheet, a verbal discussion during the class time, and in an email, or mobile devices. The limitations of the muddiest point strategy are that it might not be suitable for the higher cognitive levels of questions, and very specific questions are required from the students in order for it to be effective, so it might take them some time to get used to the type of questions that are required. And it will not satisfy all students because the instructor cannot spend a majority of time answering questions from the previous lesson. It just doesn't work. That's what office hours and other activities are for. The advantages of the muddiest point strategy are that it's easy to use, it's not time consuming, taking just 15 or 20 minutes from the end of a class. It gives a snapshot of whether learning objectives were achieved. It can improve student and instructor reflection. The questions can let the instructor determine if the lesson was effective and what needs to be addressed for future lessons. And it can guide curriculum and study habits for the students and the instructor. Best practices. The muddiest point works best if it's not used too frequently. Should be combined with other techniques, and it works best if used by the instructor to modify the delivery and students to focus their studies on need areas to meet the learning goals and objectives. In conclusion, the muddiest point is easy. It's effective because the students reflect on their learning and change up their study habits and think about the lesson, so they have a question to ask at the end if they need it. And it's also anonymous. Not everyone likes to be visible in class, and this is a method that will allow that anonymity that could be important to some students. In terms of technology, you can use technology for feedback, so it's great that way. And it's great that it only takes up a limited amount of time during subsequent class to answer questions, clear up previous confusion, and get on with the next day's lesson. The muddiest point is a very effective informal assessment strategy.